Hey guys, Fred and Sheila, Hatfield McCoy Museum and Adventures, FredMcCoy.com. Sheila posted a video earlier of an adventure. Tomorrow will be the follow-up to that video. We were looking for Selkirk McCoy's grave. Sheila finally found it.
We finally found it.
Well, with help.
Yeah,
but
do not trust Find a Grave, guys. They sent us in a wrong direction.
That video today is just a lot of driving around and scenery. Most people may not like that. So
yeah.
We thought she's got about 20 videos behind right now. But somebody sent us this yesterday and we thought, well, we'll just do a short video on it. Sheila laughs when I say going to do a short one. None of mine turns out short because I'm a windjammer.
That's okay.
Long-winded. Guys, got sent a picture yesterday. First of all, Sheila and I want to thank everybody out there.
Yes.
We and you are making a difference.
That's right. Thank you.
We are. And you are, with your help. Because people are noticing, this here was posted on the 16th, I believe. Sheila will post it on her video at the end of the video. But I think it was posted on the 16th or the 11th. 15th of January of this month. This was just posted and somebody saw it and sent it to Sheila, and here we are doing a video on it. Now, I want to fill you in a little bit real fast. This is on Jim Vance.
Yeah.
And we got a big video coming up from an eyewitness of things that took place. That it's going to be an interesting video. It'll be longer, but it's going to be a good video. But they posted a picture on the 15th of Jim Vance. You don't have to show it up close. You're going to put it on the thing here in a minute, but there's basically what it looks like.
Lord, it's a miracle.
Jim Vance, really. I'm going to tell you something about Jim Vance, guys. When Jim Vance was killed on January 8th, 1888, he's a big, heavy-set fella. And I've always said this. I think he stayed where he was at. I think the wolves probably got him. Nobody there but his wife.
Wow.
Had a son, but the son you're going to hear about in this next story that we do. His son, he had a son named John Vance. He also had a son named James Jr. But it's interesting. Very interesting story.
Cool.
I have a feeling that Jim Vance laid right there. They camped out there for a day or two to see if Cap or anybody was going to come back and get him. And I think they was in fear to come back and try to retrieve his body. Now, nobody knew where Jim Vance was buried for years. Nobody knew where Jim Vance was buried. Just like Asa Harmon McCoy, just like Ellis and Cotton Top Hatfield, Wall Hatfield, nobody knew. Until 1998, 1999, 2000, 2001, they started this tourism thing. They were going to bring tourism into West Virginia and Kentucky. And they got together and they started putting monuments and they started putting historical markers anywhere they could.
This is a conspiracy. That's what this is. One big damn conspiracy. And everyone's in on it.
Because see, if you're going to have tourism, you got to have something for people to see. And they took a marker up there, and the best they could recollect is where Jim got killed at or where he would have been buried at. And they put that little bitty tombstone. Sheila show a picture of it. Little bitty tombstone. Just Jim Vance, 1888, 1839, 1888, something like that. That's all.
1832.
1832 to 1888. That's all it says. Next thing you know, Jim Vance never had a Civil War record. Never had a people's looked for Jim Vance's Civil War records for forever. Never had one. All of a sudden, next thing you know, there's a site that you can go to and you can put anything you want to and say Fred McCoy was a Civil War captain, and they'll post it. They say, we welcome any information. We'd like to build our website up. Well, they're building it because people just sitting there typing stuff in. And then all of a sudden, Jim Vance had a Civil War record, sergeant. Next thing you know, they was going to Jim Vance's grave, and forget that little bitty stone that the tourism put there. they're saying this is Jim Vance's grave. Let's get him a Confederate grave marker. And they went and had a big ceremony and got him a Confederate grave marker made. Now, guys, this may not seem relevant to a lot of people, but in 100 years it will, or 50 years, or when we're all gone, the new generations out there, and somebody comes along doing a book report like Fred McCoy did in the 5th grade that got really hung up on this stuff. And they say, here's Jim Vance's grave. Here's his Civil War tombstone. Here, look at his military record on the internet. Here's a photo of him. 2024. 2024. January the 15th. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I just 2024, people. And all of a sudden, guess what turns up?
Lord, it's a miracle.
A picture of Jim Vance. We've got a picture of Jim Vance. Now, I'll give $1,000 to anybody out there. It's on the internet somewhere. You can find it. Because that's not Jim Vance. There's never been a picture of Jim Vance. But if somebody can find out who that really is, just go through a bunch of Civil War pictures, because that's what they've done. They went through a bunch of Civil War pictures, found one, and said, hey, let's call this Jim Vance. Now, could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think I am.
Right.
And it's 2024. Nobody to this date, but all of a sudden, Jim Vance has turned up a Confederate tombstone, a Confederate Civil War record, and now they got a picture of the old fella. I won't say nothing bad, because Jim Vance was a man's man. Jim Vance was mean as hell. Jim Vance had, well, I can't say that, but Jim Vance was a man. He wasn't like Devil Anse. He didn't hide. He didn't cower behind nobody else. He stood and fought. He went down fighting. And we got a good story coming up on him later on.
That's gonna be interesting.
This person here, this thing was posted by CGI or something.
CIGI.
CIGI. That's who the picture was posted by. And CIGI says that, well, I'm not going to read all this. You guys can go to Find a Grave. You'll see his picture and read all this stuff. And of course, they're talking about Jim Vance. And somebody wrote on there that Jim Vance was murdered by the Pike County political party. Jim Vance was killed after resisting arrest from a Kentucky posse 8 days after he killed 2 more of Randall's kids and burnt the cabin down.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with politics, had nothing to do with the political party, had to do with him committing a crime so bad that they went to arrest him. And you're going to hear the story, first-hand story that nobody's covered. Sheila and I is going to cover it. Sheila's been doing some research. Both of us have.
Both of them.
And we're going to do a good story. You're going to like what you hear, because this is, you can't beat, Sheila and I always say you can't beat physical evidence. Yeah, you can. Yeah, there's one thing that beats physical evidence.
What's
and
that?
That's an eyewitness. We got an eyewitness. We're going to tell you that story coming up later on. So this guy here, he says, who wrote this into history on Find a Grave, says that the political party sent over there and they murdered Jim Vance. It's funny, they murdered Jim Vance, but they took 9 other ones captive and took them back to stand trial. See, there was a key to that. If you didn't want to be killed, don't shoot at the police. Don't shoot at the law. They were there to serve warrants on Jim Vance and arrest him, and he started shooting at him. You're going to hear firsthand. He started shooting at him. When he started shooting, Bud McCoy shot him, Jim McCoy shot him, Lark McCoy shot him. And one of them shot him in the hip or the leg because his big butt, I guess, was sticking up over a log he was hiding behind. I mean, I'm just going to tell you that's the story that we got coming.
Yeah.
You'll want to stay tuned.
Well, don't spoil it.
And 3 of them shot him, and then Frank Phillips, of course, shot and killed him. There's a bunch of stories to that. But the story today is on this picture of Jim Vance. Guys, when you see these pictures, and all of a sudden you see all this stuff that turns up, here it is on Jim Vance's page. It says, James Vance was not involved in the killing of Asa McCoy. All through history, everybody, eyewitnesses, people that was there, people they talked to. And it's okay. I mean, like I said, I don't think we're ever going to the same person sent us a copy of where somebody posted yesterday on a website. Cap Hatfield was a lawyer, his daughter was a lawyer, his mother was a lawyer, his daddy was a lawyer, his grandpa, and I mean, where does it stop? It's not going to. It's not going to stop. People's going to continue to build devil ants and Cap and people up. It's like Charles Manson. You know, Jeffrey Dahmer. Seems like the worse that people are, the better reputation they have when they die.
Wow.
You can't admire Henry Drury Hatfield for being the governor. What you gonna say?
Henry Drury.
She'll always has to correct me on that.
Yeah. That's okay. It's all
But
good.
that's an honorable
They
man,
get the
but we
point.
can't honor him over in Logan County. We gotta honor this. Guys, Fred and Sheila McCoy, we got a good video coming.
Stay tuned.
Maybe in 2 parts, but you're gonna, with the evidence.
It's interesting.
It's gonna be interesting. And it's gonna be on Jim Vance. It's gonna be on The Feud.
Yeah.
It's gonna be on The Feud. And we'll try to get that one out. Like I said, she's about 20, 25 videos behind.
Sorry.
No, it's hard to do. Plus, we just run one a day.
Yeah, and then the internet, it takes it sometimes.
She's got
I have
some ready
fits.
to go. No, she's got them, and she'll have them scheduled to go out.
Right.
And then something else will come up, and we'll say, hey, put this one out tomorrow, and save that for the next
Yeah,
one. And that's
I
the way
do
it
that.
goes.
Yeah.
You're watching a video today looking for Selkirk's grave that was taped probably a month or 2 ago.
It's been a while.
And
Yeah.
I wish it was 50. I think I said on the thing that it's 53 degrees there.
Yeah.
Well, I wish it was because it's about 1 degrees outside right now.
Yeah, here. It's
Yeah.
cold. I'm done with the winter.
Sheila will do the closing. She's going to put some documents at the end. Best thing to do is go to Find a Grave. That's where these people found it out. And that's what I wanted to do is thank this person. We didn't find this. This was sent to us. And it's amazing that how people already are starting to do their research. People are starting to question, where is this? Who is this? Where's that at? How'd this happen?
Thank you all.
It's about time. It's about time that everybody does that. Like I said, Sheila and I had careers and we just couldn't do it. We didn't want to cause a stink or,
Right.
and you know, it's sad that you make people mad. I don't want to make people mad.
No, you're
The
not
people
doing
that gets mad is the people that's spread this stuff for years, especially the last 24 years, especially since 2000. But they've spread it and they've got so used to spreading it and nobody's saying nothing that all of a sudden somebody's starting to speak up. They panic to death. Oh man, they're running, they're messing us up. It messed up our, we're not messing you up, we're telling the truth, guys. Telling the truth. We're going to straighten it out. And let people see who they've been listening to for all these years. You've had free reign. We're in the Hubert Bay McCoy part. We're in the Hubert Bay McCoy room. And this was one of the most dishonorable things that's ever been done to anybody.
Yeah.
Hubert Bay McCoy. And one of those men started this story on Hubert Bay. She's shaking her head at me. Guys, that concludes the story on Jim Vance.
That's right.
And there is no picture of Jim Vance. If it is, I'd like to know where it came from. I'd like to know who's had it all these years. I'd like to know who identified them. Like to know who this CGI is or ever who it is, whatever the initials. I ain't got my glasses on.
CIGI.
CIGI. And if anybody can find this picture with a substantiated
With
history,
proof of who it is.
proof, documentation of who it is to prove that it is not Jim Vance, and we know it's not, but to prove that it's not, so we can show one more thing to people out there and say, hey, this is how you put a stop to it. $1,000 for somebody to identify that person. Identify that person with proof, where the picture come from, who it is, and all that, so we can do a video and show people that Sheila and I mean business in what we say, and we like to prove what we say, and it would be worth $1,000 just to call people's hands to this and the Civil War record and all the things that they start. Sheila, do the closing.
Please like, subscribe, and share. And we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.